What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the first MoBetta Technical Tuesdays. Today, we are going to go ahead and do a little bit of a simulation. We're not going to be looking at price action from today's prices too much, just because not a whole lot is going on. And I would rather take this time out to help people who are having trouble identifying trends, identifying consolidation, figuring out where to take buys and sells at. Figuring those who are having troubles identifying good places to take trades, and how you can identify when price is forming the kind of price action that you would like in order to take a successful trade. So what we're going to do is we're going to get on bar replay, and just to show y'all that, I'm not cherry picking any certain price action or anything like that. I'm going to do the bar replay from here, and we're just going to scrunch this all the way up. Because what I want to show y'all is that it doesn't matter at what price anything is. Technicals are always the same regardless, and they're always going to present themselves. Right, so we're going to be practicing on Bitcoin's price chart, just because I feel like it has the most fluid price movement and the most easily identifiable setups. So, all right, I'm not going to do too much talking to the intro. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to hit bar replay, and we're just going to go back. I'm just going to close my eyes here, and we're just going to go back. Okay, I peeked a little bit just because I don't know if we're just going to go back all the way here. Right, and so what bar replay does is it essentially takes price, or it takes us back in time to a historical price that charts were previously at, or Bitcoin was previously at in this scenario. So as y'all can see here, we are all the way back in. Let's see, this is November of 2019. Okay. And we're just going to do some top-down analysis right now. So what we can see here, just even from a higher time frame perspective, Bitcoin was in an uptrend. Boom. Touched a price of about 14,100 and has since then been in a downtrend before it consolidated, had a little pop-up, consolidated again, and is now broken back down, right? So y'all can see that there was the uptrend. Then as price reached a maximum price point that it wanted to reach, there was a sell-off. And then you created a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, an equal low, a lower high, a higher low, a lower high, and then price broke down, right? Creating a lower low, and now lower high. This high is lower than this high lower than this high, and so on and so forth. And that's where we are now. All right, let me get all this stuff off to kind of clean the chart up a little bit. But I just want to show y'all that is what we are currently looking at. So what we have now is that Bitcoin has retraced after a price move down, had a really significant sell-off here. And you can see that buyers stepped in, took price all the way back up to about $10,350. And price is now stalled since then. Again, this is on the daily chart. And this is currently on a Friday. So as y'all know, the most important thing in price action is time and volume. So what things do we not want to be doing right now? Well, it's Friday. It's the end of the week, going into the weekend. So we do not want to be trading, right? So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just skip ahead a couple of days. Let me see. Let me make sure that this doesn't go too far forward. All right. Okay, that's Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so this is Sunday's price action here on the daily. Hopefully I can go down into the 4 hour. I don't know if it's going to let me, but either way, really ideally being on the daily time frame is, better in order to take trades based on price trend, because the daily is obviously the most powerful, not the most powerful, but the higher time frames are stronger than lower time frames, right? One thing we do have to remember is that prices are fractals, right? So whatever is happening on higher time frames is also happening on lower time frames. And on the lower time frames, such as the 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, those are where you get your entries from, right? And you're anticipating price moves and how they're going to look on higher time frames. So in this instance, what do we have? We had a support that was created here, right, on the daily. Oh, let me turn this opacity down. Go here and turn it up to like right there, right? Okay, so we had prices consolidating, moving sideways, didn't really do anything. Created a support here. Boom. Okay. Broke through, retested the breakdown, and as of this point right now, we have not reclaimed this level. So while it is, we have a bullish daily candle, we can't really confirm what is going to happen from here until we either break through support down here or we start forming some type of resistance on the lower time frame, which hopefully, like I said, we can dip down into the lower time frame. Okay, cool, we can. This gives us a little bit more idea of what is going on, right? So again, on the 4 hour, we're creating resistance at this level. So now what we would be able to say is, since we've been consolidating and now we've broken down and we're retesting this breakdown level, technically, right, Bitcoin has been on an uptrend, obviously, but this is now, technically speaking, breaking lower, even though we have found some support here. So what we're going to have to see is whether we can break support for a potential move lower, or let's measure this range out here. So what we're going to do is measure this range. This is about a $321 range, about a 3.7% move, okay, to play within. Or if we get down to this area and we have a good setup, we have a good close below here, we have potential to move down, you know, into, and there's really a clean run of candles all the way down here, right? It's a clean run of bearish candles. However, the likelihood of them taking this whole thing back right away is pretty low. So we would just be looking to get some, you know, short-term price action in, right? Okay, so let's go from here. Now, what we can see is we formed a bearish 4 hour candle here. However, this is 2 p.m. on a Sunday, and I'm not personally, I'm not a Sunday trader. So what I think we'll do is just go ahead and skip until Mondays. We'll start Monday's New York session. Look for New York trades, and then see, maybe we'll do London and New York. We might combine the two, but for now, just go ahead and we're gonna go forward. Okay, nothing going on there. What is this? This is now, okay, Sunday 18. Sunday, oh good lord, this was Sunday overnight. Okay, so now go forward again. Okay, we got some interesting price action developing here. Okay, so this is going to be London session, Monday's London session. All right, and so now what we see here is that we have obviously taken back all these gains, and now we have closed a candle. Although, you know, albeit it's weak candle close, we closed a candle below this area of support. So now what we need to look for is either price to push up and not take this low, or not take this high, excuse me. Price should be able to push up to create a wick, and if price can break down lower, we can fill this wick and potentially move down to the $8,469 area. Otherwise, what we'd want to see is, you know, if we can't break below this low or close down this way, what we'd want to see is a reclaim, and maybe see if we can get some longs in this range, right? Okay, so we're going to go to, what is this? This is 2 a.m. So we're going to go to the next candle. This is going to be New York. It's not New York open, but 6 o'clock candles, pre-New York. And so now this is what we're going to be looking for. Now, what I like here is that this small body has been created. It's pretty weak. We were not able to reclaim this level. And so what we could do is, if we get a break below here, let me see if I can go down to the 1 hour. Okay, cool. I didn't think it was going to let us. All right, so now, if we can get a break below this 1 hour candle, and a close around or below this support level, we should be able to continue pushing down. So what I'll do is we'll set basically like setting a market conditional order, right? So we'll do like a sell stop, okay, and we would have we'll have a really tight stop loss, just because if a candle or if price is going to continue pushing down, it should not break above the previous high of the bearish candle. Otherwise, the trade is invalidated, right? So what we want to see is a break below this low for a continuation down. And we can look over here. A continuation down may lead us all the way down to the 84, again, 8,470 area. We obviously see that we've got some kind of price action developing over here. So we'll kind of just monitor that, right? So monitor how that's looking. But all right, let's go ahead and get in here. We also, what we have is candles pushing up into resistance. We're getting some exhaustion. Candle that pushed up but failed to break higher, and now we've broken the bullish candle's 1 hour low, which means we should have, with volume, we should have enough momentum to continue moving down. All right, let's go. Okay, all right, so we didn't push down this low yet, so we have not been triggered into a trade. If the next one is bullish, okay, see now it's getting kind of interesting, right? Because we're forming smaller candles, but we're forming them into resistance. So what that could mean is that we're going to continue to push higher. So let's just go ahead and take this off right now. This is at 11 a.m., right? So New York, this is New York, London crossover is closing because London session is ending. So let's just go to the next candle. Okay, cool. Next candle is bullish. All right. Next candle is bullish, but created this long wick and small body. So it's not really convincing me yet. So for me, in order to be convinced to go long, we would need to get a close above $8,818. And then we could continue to push in and fill some of this clean candle range. Until then, what I'll be looking for is some resistance to be built up here and maybe to come down lower. Okay, so this is 12 p.m., right? So let's go ahead. Okay. At this point now it's 1 p.m. So it's not really an ideal time to take a trade during New York session. So I think what we're just going to go ahead and do is continue. We're just going to go until the next day. Okay, this is 2 a.m. So now this is London session. Interesting. This is London session. It's very interesting. Okay, so we've created this support here that we have not been able to come even test lower yet. Okay. And now we are getting a doji that is kind of on a support area, right? So what did I say? I want to see price. If we're going to continue moving higher, price should be able to close above 88.18 to fill in some of this area. Otherwise, we would be looking for resistance to form around this area and come back lower. So let's just keep going. That's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Ooh, is this is 5 a.m.? Oh, this is 6 a.m. Okay, so this is pre-New York. So now what we got is a wick higher that came really, I mean, if you would have taken that trade, that would have been a good trade to take. However, kind of whipsaw, right? It would have only been a good trade to take if you were able to get out. But it did exactly what I thought, what I said. It moved up, filled in some of this, but this is not a very bullish candle, in my opinion. So the fact that it came and took both sides is kind of unclear which direction it wants to go, especially because it settled back in the middle of the range. So at this point, we just do nothing. All right. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So this is 7 a.m. We're closing towards the bottom of this range. So now what I'd want to see is price to be able to push below 86.42. If you can push below 86.42, you can have your stop above 87.27. This is for obviously just for training purposes only. So if you wanted to get a better, entry or stop loss, you could go into lower time frames. But I don't believe that I'm going to be able to get into lower time frames here. So If we can get a close below here, a push and a close below this low, we should be able to continue moving lower. Otherwise, we'll look to see if we can build support here at this range and take it up back to range highs. All right, this is 7 a.m. So we'll go 8 a.m. Okay, so nothing really telling here yet. 9 a.m. Okay, well, okay, see, so, and this is kind of the hard thing. So we didn't get a close below here, but we did get a push below. We got a push below, and maybe you would have been able to take this, you know, and close this here. Where would that have lined up with? That would have lined up with some really good support areas. So if you would have been able to take this and close this, cool. Otherwise, you know, you're kind of like, I would be right here. If I had gone in, you know, price should not have been able to break above this high. So we could consider that a loss probably. I'll consider it a loss only because I'm not sure what happened in this time period and it came back and hit the stop loss, right? So I don't want to be a cheater. So we'll just say that's 0 for 1. All right, let me go ahead and we'll go 0 and 1 so far. Okay. All right, so this is at 9 a.m. So now the fact that we have been able to create this doji, right? And it's 9 a.m. I mean, New York Open, New York Stock Exchange Open has already happened. So with volume, we should be able to, if we can get a push higher here. And because, like I said, we created a doji, broke through support, couldn't close through support and close back bullish, we should be able to revisit the top of the range. So we'll go here, go long, and you might want to wait until the next candle creates a low, right? As long as the next candle doesn't close back below 86.47. If it just wicks a low and then breaks the high, we should be able to continue pushing up. So we'll have to see what that candle looks like because obviously this is a very large stop loss and you wouldn't want that, in my opinion. It would be much better to wait for the candle to push down and create a wick and then continue pushing up, or we wait for a candle body close near the 86.50 area. Okay, so we'll go next candle. It's 10 a.m. candle. Okay, it's kind of dying. It didn't get really a strong push, but not necessarily a weak push either. So now what you can say is, okay, this is actually a pretty good area for your stop loss to be. You could snug it up tighter if you wanted to, but for the sake of the video, we'll just go ahead and keep it at this candle's body, right? And just see if we can get, again, we still haven't been triggered in yet because there's no break above the high. Okay. Let's go to the next candle. Boom, triggered in. Now let's see if we can get a push up to 88.25. Okay. So now what is happening is that you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in a row. And it looks like, you know, momentum might be stalling out here. So in sake of managing risk, which is the most important thing you can do, either you can move this candle, move the stop loss up in tighter because it shouldn't break below the previous bullish candle's low if it's going to continue up bullish. And say even maybe if it comes back against your entry here at say 87.41, you close 50% and see if you can just get a continued push up. It's all about managing risk, right? Managing your losses. You want your losses to be smaller than your wins, period. Your wins are going to come, but they need to be bigger than your losses always. So you have to always be thinking about how can I manage risk and how can I minimize my losses, okay? So in this scenario, the way we can minimize loss is if we get a candle that comes back and touches our entry, we can close 50%, 25%, whatever. I'll say 50% on a one lot case for this, or 1% move or 1% trade. In this case, you break it down to 0.5%, right? That way, if you lose, you're only losing half of what you originally planned, okay? But as it goes right now, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. Until that trend changes, we'll continue. So see if we can get a push above these candle highs and if we can get some momentum up towards 88.20. Right? Okay. Okay, I think right here, I would go ahead. This is now 2 p.m. At this point, I would close the trade. I would close the trade. Why? Obviously, we have this wick that potentially could be filled, but with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles in a row going up and not being able to close above here, that tells me that there's not a lot of momentum and we're heading into the close of the day. So what I would rather do, if anything, you close 90% here, you move your stop loss to break even. That way, if it comes back against you, it just takes you out for nothing. But you can consider this a win. Oh, whoops. You can consider that a win. And now you're 1-1 for the day. And if you minimize your losses, right? Maybe you're only, maybe you're break even for the day. Maybe you're up a little bit. Depending on how you manage your risk, you could really be up. You could be 2-0 again, depending on how, this candle looked and formed and everything, where you were able to get out. I'm considering it a loss for the stream sake, just because I don't want to cherry pick or be biased or anything like that. In the moment that we have the candle traded, there's no saying whether I would have been able to get out or not. So, we'll consider this 1-1, break even for the day, and that's okay. All right. But what we can do is just continue watching and see how price plays out from here. Again, this is 2 p.m., so we'll go ahead and go to the next day. Would have been a perfect take profit, it seems. 4 p.m. Oh, this is going into the candle. This is going into the daily close, right? And if you only close 90% and you had your stop loss move to break even, you're still technically in this trade and you're still making profit, right? Okay. Now at this point, I would have probably, after we closed or we broke above here and started trading back below, I probably would have closed it full out. But let's just consider for now that we are already full out back here. So this trade is no longer even in. So we're 1-1. All right. So now this is 6 p.m. Okay. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Right. Make sure. Oh God, this is 4. What the hell is wrong with me? Okay. This is 4 a.m. So this London session has already begun. And as you can see, we're still trading in this range, right? We have not left the range. We can kind of adjust where we're at right now. We have not left the range, and we are creating more supports, right? We haven't, this is pretty much still the main resistance area at 88.20. Now we have a more minor support down here at 87.20. Okay, and we are still making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So the uptrend is still, it's still in consolidation, but technically uptrending since about the 86.50 area. So, okay, 4 a.m., we'll go 5 a.m., 6 a.m., this is pre-New York, 7 a.m. Okay, things are getting a little interesting here. All right, so now where we're at, because we've created a doji, we have created support. If we can get a break above this candle's high at 87.65, we should be able to take, you can go ahead and have your stop loss down here. We should be able to take this up higher. Otherwise, if we get a candle that breaks below this low and closes below here, we can look to take a short back down to this 86.48 area. So let's just see how it plays out. As of right now, I would say actually the best thing to do is wait until you see a bullish candle created. Again, this is 7 a.m., so we'll go to 8 a.m. Okay, no bullish candle created. It's a good thing that we didn't take that trade because you would have got triggered in and then immediately been in a loss. Okay, but I am kind of liking how it's moving, creeping down this way. So 9 a.m. Okay, nothing really yet. 10 a.m. Okay. So this is a little bit riskier, right? Why is it risky? Because it's not really a clean run of candles. You got rejections here, you got rejections here, you got resistance here. Support is not too far away. You got some small rejections. So What I think is it's better to wait. It's better to wait right now. Again, and this is on Wednesday. It's midweek. So we kind of got to see what direction we're going to get, right? So what time is this again? So 10 a.m. Okay, 11 a.m. 12 a.m. 12 p.m. Sorry. Okay. Now here, what has happened? We came up, tested resistance, pushed down, came up, tested resistance, couldn't close above this resistance area, pushed back down. Now we creeped our way up, closed back lower again, and now we've made a lower high. Lower high, lower high, lower high. So now what I would like to see is, this is 12 p.m. Okay. So we've already had London close, and now we're strictly in US. So what I would like to see, if we're going to be able to continue pushing down, we should be able to break below this low here. We should be able to put our stop right above here at 87.85. And we could take price down to, you know, just this support level, but depending on how it reacts around here, we may be able to take it down to the 86.50 area. Again, this might be a little bit risky just because of the time of day. It's 12 p.m. So we'll just have to see. If we take a loss, we take a loss. It is what it is. Losses are part of the game, right? So 12. This is 1. Okay. Okay, so you did get triggered in and you did get stopped, right? You would have got triggered in here and you would have got stopped out here. So that's okay. We'll take that. We're now, let's see, we're 1 and 2. I'll take that L. 1 and 2 for the day, or 1 and 2 for the week, I should say. But as long as your wins are bigger than your losses, it's okay. All right, so again, this is 12 p.m. Now it's 1 p.m. So I'm just going to go ahead and stay out now, because to me there's not really a clear direction. I already took my loss. I took my loss on an idea that I thought would be successful, and it wasn't. So either you step away at this time of the day, again, 12 p.m. It's better to step away until the next day, in my opinion. Or it's 1 p.m. now, I should say. Let's go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7 p.m. now. 8, 9, 10. Right? Let me make sure. Yep, 10 p.m. Wow. See, look, and our idea would have been right? Our idea would have been right. We had a stop loss a little bit too tight. So maybe we could have had our stop loss up above this candle's high, anticipating that it shouldn't break that. But the fact that it broke the previous candle's high was enough for me to want to be out, right? So it did end up going in our direction. We were just a little bit too early. It's okay. So it's 10 p.m., right? So we got 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., okay, 2 a.m., okay. Man, see, and we would have actually been all the way right. We would have got price all the way down. That's okay, though. That is okay. All right, so this is now 2 a.m., right? So for me now, what have we done? We've broken and we've closed through this support area. It is 2 a.m. And what is this, Thursday? It's Thursday at 2 a.m. So what I would like to see is we create a support that is able to be broken through. Or we wick up, reject this area, and push down lower. If we can break below this low, we should be able to come down lower. Okay, so we'll just have to see. It's 2 a.m. So go 3 a.m. Okay. Held this area as support, technically speaking. Go 4 a.m. 5 a.m. Right? Okay. So now at this point, we've created support here. We could not break below this low. We created resistance. And now we're kind of creating some smaller candles 5 a.m. This is about to be into pre-New York at 6. Okay. So there's no clear path yet. I still need to see a break and close below 86.15 before I'm willing to go short. Otherwise, if we can break above like this 86.55 area, maybe we can move up. We'll see. Okay. So now we have some direction. This is 6 a.m. Oh, this is 7 a.m. So what we'll be able to look at now, we should be able to get a candle that creates a wick, but is not able to break this low, and then push up to the top of the range. Okay. So we'll go here. And why? Because look at this body. This candle also engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 previous candles. 5 previous hourly candles. And it's showing strength to the upside. So what we'll do is we'll place our buy stops up here in order to get price to come and fill this wick, I would say. Okay. Let's see what we can get. If we should fail this area and come back below here, we'll see what we do then. All right, so let's go 7. This is 8. It's 8 a.m. Okay, so now here's what we're looking at. If price is able to break below this low, it's either way. If price is able to break below this low, it's a little bit risky, but we could be able to push down. If it is able to break above still this high, we'll go in and take a buy. Okay. So then we would have been triggered in here. Sorry, I didn't even place this. Would have been triggered in here. So now we shouldn't. I don't really like how this candle is formed, to be honest. I don't like how weak it is. But, you know, if we're going to be able to continue pushing down, we should not break above this candle's high on the 1 hour. We should continue lower. So it's a pretty tight stop, and that's okay. Let's see. Okay, so I would be getting out of this now. It's at 10 a.m. The best thing you can do, in my opinion here, is get out at break even. Literally is breaking you even. So we'll count that as not a loss, not a win. That'll be a 1, 2, and we'll call this 1, 2, and 1 for right now. Get out at break even here. Right? Do y'all understand why I got out right there? Because this is just not strong. And I was already weary of it when it was coming down into support like this and closing still up above this break level. So now, again, this is 10 a.m. We're still in London. So what I would be looking for, I would just reverse my position here. Personally. Right? I just reverse my position personally. And now I would go, this low shouldn't be broken. This low, this high, if it can break, we should continue to go up, which aligns with my initial bias in the first place. So let's see, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Very ugly candle. I'm not going to lie. Very ugly candle. So we would have to keep an eye on this. Again, we'll go ahead and keep that loss or keep that stop loss down here. Again, it's 11 a.m., 12. Okay, yeah. I would be getting out of this. This would be getting out at a small loss probably. So we'll go, we're 1, 3, and 1 now. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and, yeah, I would say I'd get out of this at noon. Might be a bad idea because price could still go in our direction, but I just don't like the way it is turning out. Okay, so keep going. Keep going. This is at 2 p.m. now. Not really interested. 3 p.m. 4 p.m. Yeah, see, price is kind of just consolidating in this area. So what we have now, and that was probably a little bit of a premature thought process here still, but what we have now is, you know, crisis. Let's go to the, yeah, on the 1 hour we've created resistance here, support here. We're just trading in between this range. So now what we need to see is price be able to either form a bullish candle on support, or if we can break above here, we should be able to go for highs. If we should form a bearish candle that closes below here, then we can look for shorts. Okay, so this is, what time is this now? 5 p.m. 6. It's another one where we're just a little bit too early on shorts. It's a little bit too early. The idea is working out, but a little bit too early on shorts. Okay. So 6. This is 6 p.m. 7. Yeah, man. 8. 9. 10. Right, this is 10 p.m. 11, 12, 1, 2. Woo! Okay. Okay, now we really got some price action happening here. This is pretty good. Okay, so this is 2 a.m. Price has obviously moved away here, so there's nothing really to do in that scenario. We've now created new support, new resistance. I'd say this area is the best area for support to be created. Resistance is still above here, right? We have not created any new higher resistance area, but what we have created now is a pretty good range. This is about a $148 range, right? So it's a pretty good range to trade within. So we either look for rejection above here to come back and fill the bottom, or we look for acceptance to come and fill up higher. Okay, this is a really good candle though. So this is 2 a.m. So we'll just go ahead and skip ahead to pre-New York. 3 a.m. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. This is 6 a.m. Right? Okay, this is now Friday. It's now coming up on Friday, and what I feel like is just happening here is just consolidation. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip ahead to next Monday. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could have taken that short. Actually, that'd have been a great short idea, but it's Friday, so I went ahead and skipped it. Whatever. It is what it is. This is going to be Friday. Yeah, Friday still. This is Saturday, 6 p.m. Sunday. Okay, this is Sunday. Oh, no, this is Saturday. Still. Okay, this got to be Sunday. Sunday, 2 a.m. Now what we did, we created a new range. And let's go ahead and set this here. Created this range higher here. And we've created this range lower here. Which price has respected. Okay. Damn, it's crazy. A couple of these trades, we're just a little bit too early on. Right? This short here was the right idea. Probably had a stop loss a little bit too tight. Could have put it up above the high here, and we would have been good. We'd have taken that all the way down. But that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. All right, so let's go now. Okay, so we'll go Sunday. I think we'll just go ahead into Monday. Right, because what time is this? Sunday at, yeah, Sunday. Just go forward. Sunday still. Sunday. Got to the lower bound of this range. Now this is Monday at midnight. This is 1 a.m. Right? Okay, now we got Monday at 2 a.m. Now, nice. What we have got is this range support was formed. We pushed up into resistance, couldn't maintain above, came back down into support. Now we're double bouncing off support with the inability to close any candles lower. This is 2 a.m. So we'll go ahead and take, you know what? We're going to go ahead and trade the the London session. If we can get a break above this high, we should be able to continue higher, say hopefully to fill this range. We've got our resistance being created here. So what we need to see is price close above this resistance to go higher. If we get a close down here, we'll see how to navigate that. All right, so it's 2 a.m. I'll go 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Okay, so we're creating resistance right now. So we haven't been triggered into this trade. This would be the idea if we can get a close above this yellow line. All right, so this is 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Okay, so still not getting any strong closes, kind of like some slow bleeds, but that's not necessarily a bad thing either. 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Okay, so now we've got a close below support. We got a wick to fill. Let's see if 7 a.m. is going to fill our wick. If we can get a push higher that does not break this high, we should be able to continue lower. If we get a push that breaks this high, we would not go in, right? So let's see. We'll go here and go, this is what, 6 a.m., right? Okay, so we'll go 7 a.m. Let's see 7 a.m.'s candle. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So now what we'll see is, I think a good trade idea would be to take a long here. If we can get above this high, if we push down and break up, then I would get in at the break of the high that the candle created in order to continue pushing up. See if we can get a push up into 85.60. Let's see. Okay. There's your push down. Okay, so we never even got filled here. All right, so now this is looking really bearish. We failed there. We are in an overall, of course, we are in an overall downtrend. So now our position will flip short. If we can get a close below this area, or if we can get a push below this low. Otherwise, if we reclaim this area, again, I'd be looking for longs. Okay, nothing yet. Boom. Got in, got filled, got the move all the way down. And you would have had your wick really tight, right? Boom. So there's a win. Okay. Nice. So we'll go ahead and make this. And this is the thing, guys. Even in this 2, 3, and 1, if you are managing your risk appropriately, this is basically like a. If you're going 1 to 3, if you're going 1 to 2, this is 4 to 3, right? So now you're still up positive 1. You're still up 1% for the week or for the month or whatever this is, right? For the week, for the new week. For 2 weeks, you're still up. So you only took 6 trades and you only got 2 winners. But if you're managing risk appropriately and your winners are bigger than your losers, you are literally positive right now. So don't be so caught up on the number, right, itself. Be caught up on how much you're managing your risk and how much you're making profit. Okay? So let's go ahead. I want to go finish out this week. I want to finish out this whole week and just see what we're looking like on the weekly. Okay. So we'll consider this a win. I'll say I completely got out of this already. Even though, what time is this at? It's at 11 a.m. Yeah. Completely got out of this. That's a win. So let's continue. All right. So we're just going to go, oh, wow. Holy shit. We would have been in for a massive, if you would have only closed 90% here, look at that move. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is a 4% move. Damn, that was nice. Really nice. Now, we only caught a little piece of it, but again, probably extremely profitable. You know what I'm saying? Probably very profitable if you're doing it right. Okay, so now this is Monday afternoon. Holy shit, this happened at noon? Golly. All we had to do was wait for 1 more hour. We could have just put our stops to break even and let it run, but it's always better to secure profit no matter what. Okay? So we'll go ahead and skip forward now. What is this? Tuesday. Oh shit. Damn, I went way ahead. Okay, so this is Tuesday at 7. This is Tuesday 8 a.m. Okay. It's a little risky. It's a little risky to go long here. We've created a new support and resistance area, right? We'll just go ahead and mark that out. Hopefully y'all can see that. I also like that I'm doing this all like real time so you can kind of see how areas get marked out and what to look for, right? So we're at the bottom of this range. We filled this wick. We've wick down, wick down, wick down, held this, and now we are creating kind of a reversal candle. So it's a little risky to go long here. It's a little risky to go long here, but you know what? For the sake of the video, I'm just going to go ahead and say, if we were to go long here, we'd be looking for us to take it back up to the top of the range. And this will either show us, this is good practice to show you either what to do or what not to do, right? So this is 9 a.m. Oh, this is 8 a.m. Sorry. You can go, if we're to get a candle, a wick that pushes down and respects this low and then breaks back above this opening price, we could look to go long here, right? With your stop loss below this candle's low. Otherwise, if it doesn't break above here, or if it breaks above the highs without creating a wick first, then I would wait. But let's just see. Okay. So, all right, we got to break above the high, right? So now what I would do is move my stop loss in really tight, because this is not like a short candle. And again, we broke above this candle's opening, so it would have triggered us in. But if we're going to lose, we want a very tight loss, right? So let's go ahead, keep it going. Okay. Yeah. So I don't really like this price action. So what I would do is close 50% here. I'll close 50% and then just leave it running. If we hit our stop loss, you can count that as a loss, but it would be, you know, a managed risk, if that makes sense. You lose 50% less than planned. Boom. Okay, so yep, we got our stop loss hit, but at that point, instead of losing 1%, we only lost 0.5%, right? So we'll go ahead and make this 2.2 and 3. I really should say 2 and 3.5, but we'll go 2 and 4. Okay. And this is at, what time is this at? This is at 11 a.m. So, I mean, we still got some time. Maybe now, if we can get, because we had a weak candle here, right? We had a weak candle created here. A weak bearish candle. Now, if we can get a push above here, we might be able to continue pushing up. Again, might be risky. It's technically counter trend trading. But let's just see. I kind of like the way that this is lining up. I know it's 11 a.m. We only got a couple of hours, so we'd want to see this go in our favor immediately, or else we get out. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead. This is called giving your trade a second chance, by the way. Because as you can see earlier, we had a couple of trade ideas that were the right idea, but just too early. Had we given them a second chance, we would have profited from them, right? So this is an example of giving your trade a second chance. And yeah, so let's go. Okay, really ugly, not gonna lie. 12 p.m. Let's just keep it on. Okay. Still kind of ugly. This is already coming on 3 p.m. I think I would let this trade run until 4 p.m., which is New York close, and see what it's looking like going into the daily close, but I'm not really liking this too much. Might even close 50%, but for the sake of the video, we'll just say we keep it open. Okay. All right. So this is now 5 p.m. We'll go one more because this will be the candle. This would be the daily close. Okay, so I would probably close this trade here. Technically a win, right? Technically a win. Very small win, but a win nonetheless. So we'll go ahead and close this here. Say we closed it at this level, which is very small. It's only, what, 10 pips or so. But yeah, you could have made $100 on that. $100 over time adds up. Okay. So yeah, I'll go ahead and close this here just because I don't like the way that it finished. We got in a little bit early, but you know, we're still technically in pretty decent profit. But yeah, go ahead and close this again. 6 o'clock, day's ending. We still have to push down to create a new wick for the new day. So I'd rather just wait. But we'll call that a win. Call it a win. Small win, but a win nonetheless. So now we're 3 and 4. All right. So this is now Tuesday. Okay, we'll just go ahead. 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It's midnight. 1 a.m. 2 a.m. Okay. So now this is 2 a.m. So this is the London Open. So now there's some things that you can do here. Okay, you can take a short at the break of this low at 80.82 and take it back down into the 80.35 area. I think that would be the most ideal thing, even though we had some rejection wicks here, so we don't know how we're going to react. My thought process would be that we're going to fill the candle lower. Let's see what the 4 hours looking like. We haven't even gone to higher time frames, right? Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, we could fill this wick lower. As long as we don't break above the high at 81.36, you can fill this wick lower. Might be risky. It might be risky. But we'll see. If we can get a wick to push up and break below this low without breaking back above the wick high, we should be fine. So we'll go short here, right? So I would want something like this so we have like a tight stop loss. This is 2 a.m. So we'll go again, 3 a.m. Okay, so your stop loss is right above this wick. Pretty good. 4 a.m. Okay. Honestly, I think it's a good idea to have taken profit at this area. Could have taken profit at 80.40 to 80.35 area. That was the initial target. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and call that a win. I feel like it's a good trade. It's a good trade to me. Got to the area that we needed to. Now, again, I couldn't see in real time. Obviously, like on a 30-minute, I wouldn't have been able to scale in and close this trade, but pretty much hit the target area. Let's just see what the next... I'll consider this one already finished, but let's just see if the next candle goes lower. No. Perfect. So that was actually a perfect close. So perfect close down here. So sweet. And this is 5 a.m. This is the 5 a.m. candle. One candle, one win. We're now 3, 4, and 1, right? And now what have we done? We've created support on an area of support, and this bullish candle has broken this candle's high. So now if we're waiting for pre-New York, in pre-New York, we should be able to get some volume to push higher. Okay? With our candles wick down here, or with our low down here. Okay? See if we can get up to... We've obviously created resistance here. I think the higher resistance level is probably here, so this is where we would be targeting. This is where we would be targeting here. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Same principle. Okay, so we got a wick that pushed down. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll have this tightened, and because we pushed above and then closed back below here, I'll have closed 50% of the trade. That way, if I lose, I only lose 50%. All right, so we'll go higher. Keep going. Boom. Man, do you close this? I think with this strong of a candle, what we can do is wait to see if this candle high can be broken. If we form a resistance candle here, then we'll go ahead and close the trade. Okay. Yep, so we'll have closed the trade here. Decent win. Still a decent win. So that's 2 wins on the day. So now all of a sudden, You're 4-4, and now all of a sudden your trades are adding up. Your wins are adding up, right? Because if you're doing at least 2-1, say this is in $100 clips, right? You got $800 in wins, $400 in losses, one break even. That is a net profit of $400, right? Just being even, you're still making a profit, okay? And that is the goal, all right? So this is now 9 a.m. Now, what I'd be looking for, honestly, you know what? Well, I'll say that I went ahead and closed it already because I already said I closed it, but because it's 9 a.m., I would anticipate that we might be able to get a candle that pushes higher. As long as we don't push below this low, and we can respect this low and continue pushing higher, we should be able to continue our move up. So that's what I'd be expecting. So I'd say something like this. If we can get this move, I'd be looking for something like this. All right, so this is 9 a.m. At the same time, if price breaks this low, then we will just not be looking for a trade at all. Okay. It's 10 a.m. Okay, trade is still valid until this candle low breaks. Okay, now we could even go here, boom, break this up higher here, and now we can move our trigger in price. This is what, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Okay, so London session is closing. So let's just see what New York can do for us, right? Let's just see what New York session can do for us. As long as we can push above this high, wick lower, push above this high, and not break this low, we should be able to continue pushing higher. Hey, so listen, I'm going to call it a win. We broke the high and we literally came all the way up and we tested the high at where I said we would be closing. That's a win, right? Tell me I'm wrong. That's a win. And that's a big win too. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Boom. Y'all can say I'm cherry picking, but listen. The high was hit before the low was hit. That's a win. Boom. Right? And this is now what, Wednesday? Man, so with a move like this on a Wednesday, I would say that Thursday and Friday are probably just going to be days you just don't look at the charts. Okay? So, yeah, let's go ahead and see. I'll keep going forward just to see what we're looking like for Thursday and Friday. But I really, really like just ending maybe the week like that. Out of 10 trades, you won 50% of them, but you were massively profitable. At 2-1 odds, this is $1,000 in wins to $400 in losses, and so that's $600 profit. If you were to consider that these were 3-1, that's $1,500 in wins to $400 or less in losses. So either way, very, 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 very profitable. Congratulations. And I hope y'all are understanding kind of what is triggering me into these trades, right? It's all about timing and volume. Timing and volume. Timing and volume. And knowing when to cut your trade. You got to know when to cut the trade. Okay? So that's been very, very profitable. I'm actually very satisfied with these results so far. All right, but anyway, let's go ahead. Holy shit. Oh shit, this is 2 a.m. Wow. 2 a.m. price just completely died off. Look at that. Look at that. And like I said, you know, with the wick like this, it just wasn't likely to go higher, right? So it was probably pretty good to be out of the market. And damn, I mean, we could have got in here, but it is what it is. So this is now 6 a.m. Honestly, all right now. Actually, this could still make for good trades, to be honest, if you're just counter trend trading. Right? So now we dip below. Obviously, we have heavy sell pressure going. So I think that, you know, longs are a little bit risky, as you can see, but they're still profitable. All right, still profitable. So this is 6 a.m. We'll see what 7 a.m. candle's looking like. And not loving that. 8 a.m. Damn, I was going to say if we could break below this low that we could get in. Hey, it is what it is. Didn't get in. So we'll just consider this day done. This day is over with. So our Thursday, we didn't make any profit. We didn't make any losses either, though. Holy shit. Holy shit, brother. Holy shit. All right, well, it's a good thing we stayed out. Not a good thing we stayed out, actually, because that would have been a great short. It did close below support. And maybe y'all are thinking, like, what the hell? Why wouldn't you have taken that trade? I might have had I not already been successful with my trades earlier in the week, right? Had I already not been up profitable for the week, maybe I would have taken that, but I don't really need to. There's not really a necessity, right? So, is what it is. This is Thursday. We'll see what Friday's looking like. Maybe we can get a move in on Friday to close the week. If not, I'm kind of happy with where we're at. 3 a.m. Okay, we're just moving down, down, down. This is obviously an exhaustion wick, a shooting star candle. So, we created support that we have broken below now. This resistance, is way up here. So, I just don't really like, it's Friday. This is 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Holy shit. Holy shit. 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Yeah, prices. This is done for me. I'm out. I would not be trading at all. I would not. But I hope y'all can see, right? Even here, you could have, when we broke through resistance here, the same principles apply. Same principles apply. You could have gone, and I know this is hindsight, right? But you had an exhaustion wick. As long as candles broke below this low and then finished below this support, that was a good trade. And you could have kept it on if price broke below this candle's wick without breaking the candle high. Obviously, you can see that happening, right? That would have been a good trade to take. Been very tight stop loss. Even if you had gotten in up here, your stop loss would have been here. And then you could have moved it to break even. And you never would have gotten tested. And then you would have got a great win out of it. Right? I'm obviously not going to consider that a win because I wouldn't have taken it. Or I didn't take it. But y'all can see, man. Look. Again. It doesn't have to be pretty ass numbers. And if you're thinking like, oh, this shit doesn't work. Like you lost 4 of your 10 trades. Come on, man. You gotta think better than that. You're not going to win every single trade. You're not going to have a 100% win rate. And not only that, but I was longing, right? You're going long, so it's counter trend trading technically. There's plenty of other places where you could have got wins here. Could have got 1 win here, 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 1 win here. Right? You could have had like 6, 7 wins. But if you're being cautious and you're watching your capital and you're doing things the right way, you don't necessarily need to win you don't need to take every trade. And so we took the trades that looked the best for us. And that's all that matters. So yeah, wonderful. Wonderful results. Again, that would have, if you're taking just 2-to-1, that's $1,000 in wins. That's $400 in losses, 1 break even. So you're now $600 in profit for a week or for 2 weeks, whatever. Doesn't matter. You're profitable for the month. That $600 can compound. Maybe it's another $200-$300 next week. Maybe it's $1,000 next week. Maybe it's another $500 next week, and then you got $1,000 for the month, right? All your job to do is stack up little wins as often as possible. And ta-da! Now you're a profitable trader. Just know what you're looking for and understand how candles are setting up, and there's nothing more to it. Cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here now. If y'all enjoyed this session and want to see it more often, please, please, please let me know. If you want to see it over, altcoins or something, I can do those. If you like the Bitcoin price action, cool. If you would rather see me go, like every single time go from daily to 1 hour analysis. Mind you, again, we're just sticking on the 1 hour here, right? We're strictly sticking on the lower time frames just to kind of see what kind of price action we can get. So if you would rather see something else, let me know. I'll show you however you want to know it. If you would like me to even further explain my thought process, why I was going long or short where I was, hopefully I did a good enough job of that in the video. But if you need further clarification, further breakdown, let me know. I got everything y'all want, I can provide for you. Just let me know. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed Technical Tuesday. Hopefully this week you can apply that to this week in the markets. Remember, FOMC tomorrow, so it's going to be very volatile. Make sure you're protecting your capital. If you are in trades, make sure you are being as protective as possible, because the volatility can wipe you out in one move. So my personal suggestion, stay out of FOMC, wait for the volatility to die down and for price to give you a good direction to go, and then take price wherever it may lead you at that point. All right, man, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Catch you on the next one. Peace.